YouTube? Doing another CarCast this morning. Beautiful Wednesday morning, actually. Want to give a shout out to all the Auburn fans out there who tune in on a daily basis. Thankful for the subscriptions. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Just some general talk this morning. We're not going to get in too deep. I just want to ask a lot of you guys, though, when was the last time Auburn had like a really seriously elite wide receiver? I'm not talking about, now I think Courtney Taylor and Seth Williams, pretty good. Had Rodney Daniels. Back in the day had Darvin Adams. Had Frank Sanders. But when has Auburn had a really breakout receiver? A receiver that, you know, defensive coordinators really had to account for. And not to say that none of these guys had to, you know, didn't have to be accounted for or have scheming around them, but at the same time, they don't absolutely scare you. You think about some of the wide receivers now that are coming up. Justin Ross from Clemson. You look at Devontae Smith from Alabama. You look at Jamar Chase, who opted out LSU this year, who was the best wide receiver in the country on a national championship team, could not be stopped. Definitely had to account for his presence. It was definitely time for a change at wide receiver coach for the Auburn Tigers. Auburn has not been, overly short of talent at the wide receiver position. I think Darius Slayton was an excellent talent. Auburn really missed the mark, I think, in 2016 from a personnel packaging standpoint, because if I have Nate Craig Myers, if I have Kyle Davis, if I have Darius Slayton, if I have Eli Stove, there's no room for a guy like Will Hastings. I just never understood that. I think Auburn, if they are going to be among the elite teams, especially in the SEC, because what are the elite teams doing in the SEC? They're throwing the football. And they're throwing the football to some very good receivers. Florida, for example, did not seem to have much of a run game this year. But they had packages in the passing game that helped them stay afloat. Actually, almost beat Alabama, arguably one of the best SEC teams in recent history. Now, there's a lot of asterisks to that, but we'll give them a pass for today. But either way, I think Auburn definitely needed to go in a different direction at the wide receiver coaching position, which they did. I think the development at the wide receiver position has been very menial, to say the least. I think the recruiting at wide receiver has been okay, but like I said before, the development part is definitely not where it needs to be. Auburn recently hired Cornelius Williams. Who the heck is that? Hired Cornelius Williams from Troy State University. Well, Troy University. I'm calling them Troy State. They're Troy University. Those of you guys know, used to be Troy State back in the day. Troy State actually used to be a Division II school, but has elevated their status to Division I, FBS school, non-Power 5, but competitive nonetheless. As a matter of fact, beat LSU at home a couple of years ago. So, he's actually had some success as a wide receiver. I think coaching at the local level, so to speak, in Troy, having access to building some relationships with schools in Alabama, schools in neighboring Georgia. A lot of good schools down in that little hub between Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. That southern piece, that little radius down there. You get a lot of good athletes down there, and definitely want to see the development of the wide receiver position at Auburn to flourish. And you definitely don't want to see high-end recruits come to Auburn and be mediocre. I want to give a shout out to my buddies over at the War Report. They're actually doing a segment tonight. It appears they're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. They're going to be talking about updates in recruiting. They're also going to be talking about the dumpster fire going on up at Tennessee. Definitely really appreciate these guys and what they bring to the table, especially from a live stream standpoint. Very interactive. These guys actually went to Auburn University, which makes it even better. Matter of fact, a couple of the guys were at Auburn during my tenure. I want to give a big shout out and War Eagle to the War Report, who is going to be doing some work tonight via live stream. That thing starts at 9 p.m. I'm going to post it here in this video. But definitely Auburn is hoping with Cornelius Williams to upgrade the wide receiver position. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. War Eagle. Appreciate you guys joining the CarCast here on Vernon Speak Sports. Auburn Football Sports Talk. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. War Eagle.